Flip My Florida Yard is brought to you by the Florida Department of Environmental Protection. Protecting Florida's environment starts with you. What you do in your yard can have an impact on the health of our environment and water resources.
Hello, I'm Chad Crawford, and welcome to Flip My Florida Yard, the show that helps homeowners transform their yards into beautiful, Florida-friendly landscapes.
On this episode, neighbors come together to flip the front entrance of their subdivision.
You guys ready to get going?
We're ready.
We'll show you small changes that will make a big impact.
The water was murky and there wasn't a lot of life there. We knew it was time to make a change.
And then we install a water feature like we've never seen.
The water in the system is all stored underground, so it's a recirculating system.
We'll learn how a community changed its HOA rules to help Florida.
I didn't want to water my yard, so we tore up all the grass.
We'll unpack the 9 Florida-friendly landscaping principles and how you can incorporate them into your yard.
There are a lot of things the average person can do to make their landscape more Florida-friendly.
We'll see firsthand how helping Florida's environment brings people together.
Everybody working hard together cultivates some sense of connectedness.
All this and more on Flip My Florida Yard.
Country Walk is a small HOA with 111 homes. We have 25 acres and a detention pond at the center of our community. Our community is full of activity. We have people walking their dogs and playing with kids, fishing in the pond, and working in their yards every day. Our community was using too many resources, and we knew it was time to make a change. It was during COVID that people really started getting excited about improving the community. From there, we really started getting into what was going on with the landscape, and we were introduced to the Florida Friendly Landscaping Program.
Meg and a team of residents changed the bylaws of their HOA to allow them to implement Florida-friendly landscaping principles.
We have bat boxes to reduce the mosquitoes. Homeowners are using compost barrels and rain barrels. We're using pine bark mulch to conserve water and suppress weeds. But the one thing we have not been able to accomplish yet is the landscaping at the front entrance of our community.
And that's what we're doing today. With tools in hand, Country Walk residents are gathering to flip the front entrance of their community.
Good morning.
Good morning. So excited to have you here.
Hey, happy to be here at the Country Walk entranceway.
Leading today's flip is landscape designer Skip Healy. Skip has been working in the Melbourne area for over 15 years, specializing in Florida-friendly landscapes. He'll lead a team of residents and volunteers to flip the front entrance.
The entryway is going to be full of native plants that are going to be plants that aren't usually used in other communities. We have a great water feature that's going to be put in here, tons of native plants, and then we're going to have a great crew of volunteers here from the neighborhood. We have our crew here from IFAS.
Joining us is Brevard County Extension Agent Sally Scalera.
We're super excited to be here and learn all about Florida-friendly landscaping principles today.
Yes, and the ones that we're going to talk about are protecting the waterfront and attracting wildlife.
This project today is going to showcase to people outside of the community how beautiful a low-maintenance, Florida-friendly landscape can be.
It's going to be a great flip. You guys ready to get going?
We're ready. We really want to be an example to other HOAs that they can be Florida-friendly too.
Before we start on anything, these plants have got to go. We have a lot going on. We have a lot of plants coming out of the ground, and it's not easy. So we got to make sure that everybody's staying on task and that we're getting everything done in a quick manner. One of the plants that we're removing today is variegated schefflera. It's a commonly used plant in Florida because it looks nice, it has a pop of color, but it really doesn't offer much as far as value to the environment or to wildlife.
The Country Walk community is located in Brevard County, which has a long history of innovation when it comes to protecting the Indian River Lagoon. In 1993, this desire to protect the lagoon would launch a program known as the Florida Yards and Neighborhoods. This program has since evolved and is known today as the Florida Friendly Landscaping Program.
And now we have a program that's active really throughout the entire state, and it's taught through the Cooperative Extension Services Office in each of the 67 counties.
The Florida Friendly Landscaping Program really shines in suburban communities, These are areas where you have a concentration of homes with yards, so the risk of pollution from human activities is greater.
They developed the 9 principles, which are the core of the Florida Friendly Landscaping Program. And these 9 principles are there to help us know how to design and maintain those landscapes while also protecting our environment.
All right, this looks awesome, you guys. Doing a great job. I think we're about onto the next stage, and then we should be ready to lay out our plants and keep on going.
In the beginning of our journey, we began to understand that the pond was at the heart of the community. Over time, we had noticed a decline in the wildlife, less ladybugs and butterflies. We had fewer wading birds, and even hawks and owls that we used to see weren't coming around anymore. And it was really dead. The water was murky, and there wasn't a lot of life there.
Like most communities, Country Walk has a detention pond, and during rain events, all the stormwater runs off the yards, down the road, and into the pond.
We've come to understand that the pond is a reflection of the health of the community, and if we are taking good care of our yards, then our pond will be healthy too.
Protecting the waterfront is minimizing pollution that can carry nutrients before it reaches natural water bodies.
One of the first things that we did was adopt a low maintenance buffer zone around the pond. It really didn't cost us anything to stop mowing, but the benefits were huge. It prevents landscape debris from getting into the pond. It helps slow the stormwater running off of the landscape into the pond. And now we have noticed that it protects the pond banks and reduces erosion. We know the pond is healthy because we can see the water is clearer, there are baby turtles and all kinds of birds hanging around. Imagine the impact on the lagoon if every neighborhood in Melbourne adopted these principles.
Adam Klingenberg and his team from Florida Custom Aquatics are installing a water feature right in the entranceway.
The water feature we're installing today is a aquascape ecosystem water feature, which means that it's all natural. We're building a pondless waterfall, so the water in the system is all stored underground and it'll flow over a series of rocks and waterfalls into an underground reservoir. And the reservoir pumps it back up to the top, so it's a recirculating system.
Florida Friendly Landscaping is a holistic way of designing and maintaining landscapes, all to protect the environment.
The Florida Friendly Landscaping Program has 9 principles designed to help homeowners create a yard that is in tune with Florida's environment.
Principle number 1 is right plant, right place. This principle really is the cornerstone of the Florida Friendly Landscaping Program. It's so important you choose the right plant. You're going to look at lighting, you're going to look at size, you're going to look at moisture levels. If you choose the right plant for the right location, the management will be so much easier, that plant will be much happier, and it's going to be so much better for the environment. Principle number 2 is watering efficiently. Water is such a finite item, and we just really need to think about not only how much water we're applying to our landscape, but we need to think about what we're doing in our landscape and how it affects the rest of the water in the state of Florida. Principle number 3 is fertilize appropriately. Plants are living things. They really need nutrients to continue to grow, but they generally get those nutrients from the soil. You really need to know how to look at your landscape and decide whether you need to fertilize or not. Mature landscapes often don't need to be fertilized. We only fertilize if we have nutrient deficiencies, if we're trying to increase growth on our plants, or if we're trying to increase flowering or fruiting. But if the plants look great, maybe you don't need to fertilize. Principle number 4 is mulch. It does so much more than just look good. It's helping to conserve moisture. It's keeping the soil a little bit cooler or warmer. It's keeping weeds down. And as it breaks down, a Florida-friendly mulch will also add organic matter to the soil. So it really is worth the effort. Put that 2 to 3 inch layer of mulch in your landscape and it'll pay off for years to come.
Tom will unpack the rest of the principles later in the show. In the meantime, let's check on the progress of our flip.
The existing landscape was rather sterile. We removed a lot of mature plant material that wasn't very biodiverse. So this landscape's gonna look a lot different than other landscapes around here, and as far as HOAs are concerned. The entryway is gonna be full of native plants that are going to be plants that aren't usually used in other communities, and plants that are providing a lot of habitat value. They're going to be full of pollinators, butterflies, and full of flowers.
When the subdivision was created, there was a lot of gorgeous, original, virgin wildlife and plants here, and that was all clear cut because that's the easiest thing for developers to do. The fact that we can bring it back here with some native plantings is very, very important. So I really applaud this subdivision for the work they're doing. If we all tried to do just a few native plants in our yard, that could make a really big difference.
In 2020, we went to workshops where we saw IFAS agents and other local vendors talking about Florida-friendly landscaping and what it could do for our community. In our community, we chose Florida-friendly landscaping principles as the catalyst for that change. We asked every homeowner to vote to approve those changes into our bylaws.
After a lot of door-to-door campaigning, education, and some pushback, Meg and her team were able to officially incorporate Florida-friendly landscaping principles into their bylaws.
It's worth the uncomfortable conversations that we had. It's worth the crazy amount of time that it took. We need to advocate to adopt Florida-friendly landscaping principles into our governing documents. We have to change the rules.
One rule they changed was to allow residents to replace their turf with Florida-friendly plants. This was not allowed under the old bylaws.
I am so proud of all of my neighbors. We've learned better ways to communicate with each other through doing these projects outside. Everybody working hard together cultivates some sense of connectedness. I really can't speak enough about all of the wonderful people that live here and contributed to bringing us to this day. We used signs to show people that something important was happening. Signs work, and I had a lot of fun making them.
You know, there's no greater force for good than when a community comes together. And that's what we're seeing here. I love their passion and their colorful signs. Okay, let's get back to the flip.
Most of the residents have made small changes to make their yard more Florida-friendly, but others have gone all the way. Pat Sullivan-Liebig is one of them.
Just walking through my garden gives me quite the sense of peace.
A few years ago, she flipped her entire front yard.
Back in 2021, Meg encouraged me to attend a seminar where Skip was speaking about Florida-friendly landscaping. And that's when I decided to change my yard. But I didn't want to water my yard. So we tore up all the grass and he planted Florida-friendly plants and trees for me. Some things worked, some things didn't.
After some trial and error, she found the right plants that fit in her yard. And today, it's full of beautiful flowers attracting all kinds of wildlife.
I have birds and butterflies all the time, tons of monarch caterpillars. I've gotten every kind of butterfly you can think of. The thing I enjoy the most about my yard is that I am out here and I see all my neighbors. Everybody comes by and says, oh, I like that flower and what is this?
Today, Pat is seeing more neighbors follow in her footsteps.
The best part is I have two neighbors, both who would like to flip their Florida yards also. I just like being out here. It's my closeness to nature. We want this neighborhood to be a Florida-friendly landscaping showcase. I think in the community, we have so many supporters who are looking to do more, not only for the good of the Florida-friendly landscaping, but also because it gives good sense of doing something good for nature and for Florida. I was surprised that there's been so much interest in Florida-friendly landscaping, and I was very pleased to think that I helped start it.
All right, let's check back in with Tom Wickman as he tells us about the rest of the Florida-friendly landscaping principles.
Principle number 5 is attracting wildlife. Start planting Florida-friendly plants that have flowers and fruits to attract wildlife. Think about adding a water source like a bird bath. Think about bird feeders and provide food, whether that comes from berries or fruits. Principle number 6 is managing yard pests responsibly. We have a lot of insects and diseases in Florida, but you know what? Most of them aren't negatively impacting your plants. So Number one, learn to identify whatever it is that you're seeing in your landscapes. Use your local garden centers. Make sure that you have some good advice as to exactly what you're seeing in your landscape. And number two, if you do need to treat, make sure you're choosing the safest product, maybe the least toxic product first, and only spot treat those areas. And number three, make sure you read the label. There's safety information about how you can protect the environment and also protect yourself. And remember, the label is the law. Principle number 7 is recycling yard waste. We generate a lot of yard waste as we're doing various chores in our landscape. So it's so important you think about trying to keep as many of those resources on site as possible. So as you are raking leaves, maybe you can utilize those as mulch in the landscape or create self-mulching beds. Principle number 8 is reducing stormwater runoff. This is one of the most important principles because it really is important that we try and keep as much of the water that falls onto our property on that site, because any water that's moving off the site can pick up pollutants and ultimately end up in our waterways. So it's so important we think about utilizing rain gardens and making sure our gutters are flowing into the landscape as opposed to on hard surfaces. Principle number 9 is protecting the waterfront. It's so important that we're mindful of our impacts. Many of us live on water in the state of Florida, but we have to be careful about understanding that everything we do ultimately impacts that waterway. So we want to take some simple steps. We want to make sure that we're keeping a low maintenance zone. This low maintenance zone is 10 to 25 feet up from the water, and it's so important that we not mow, fertilize, irrigate, or use pesticides in these areas. So we're trying to keep this plant material and pollutants from ever getting into our waterways. Florida Friendly Landscaping Program has great resources to help you choose plants and protect that water.
All this plant material is designed to attract butterflies, pollinators, birds, and other wildlife.
When we do the Florida Friendly Landscaping, we want to bring the plants back that would be naturally here, so we use a lot of natives. We can also use ones that aren't native, though, that can attract wildlife, add beauty, grow our own food. So there's all sorts of things that we can add to our landscape instead of the traditional foundation shrubs and just turf.
Without native plants, there won't be the birds we're hearing, or the local pollinators, or much of the other local wildlife.
We also have our water feature that's going to be a great attraction for wildlife.
Oh my goodness, this is amazing.
It's quite a task to build one of these waterfalls in a day, but with our awesome team, we were able to dig our reservoir, placing our liner in, and then placing all of our rocks and gravel on top to build the waterfalls in only a day. These water features are beautiful because they can fit in almost any space. You can put a tiny water feature in your front yard that attracts birds. You can put a pond in your backyard that collects rainwater. Anyone has the ability to put one of these water features in your yard and create habitat.
I can't wait to see it with the water on.
All right, let's flip the switch.
Wow.
Pretty amazing.
The water is initially brown in color because it's washing away the sediment on the rocks. But in only a day, the water will be crystal clear.
This water feature is so amazing. It's beautiful. The sound is so calming and peaceful. Every person that comes in this community is going to be amazed by this water feature.
And the wildlife is gonna absolutely love it. Are you ready to put the plants in?
Let's do it.
These are all Florida native aquatic plants. We've got 3 different varieties that we're gonna be planting in here today. So let's start with that one. That is a canna lily. So it's got a beautiful yellow flower. We're gonna place that down in the gravel where it can still reach the water within the liner. The second plant we are gonna plant in here is pickerel rush. It's another beautiful Florida native aquatic, and it's got a purple flower.
I love that. When we talked about a water feature at the front of the neighborhood, we knew that it was going to be a beautiful addition to our entrance. But learning that it's harvesting water, attracting wildlife, and providing habitat is just so amazing. Ooh, what's that one?
This one is called Bacopa, and it is a Florida native aquatic ground cover.
I love that.
So it likes to creep and crawl all over the rocks, and it really helps naturalize it and make it look beautiful. And it's the host plant for the white peacock butterfly.
Fantastic.
We love that. It looks a little bit spindly when we plant it, but it'll grow into a nice, beautiful mat. Aquatic plants are a critical part of installing a successful water feature because they help pull nutrients out of the water. In this system, we're using all Florida native aquatic plants. So they're gonna create food sources for wildlife. They're gonna create habitat for wildlife.
It's so beautiful. I can't wait to see them fill in.
They're gonna grow and really naturalize this waterfall. But we got a lot more to plant.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. Right here?
That's a perfect
Okay.
spot.
Who would have thought that a water feature could add so much value to our landscape? How's that look?
Fabulous.
Okay.
If you live in an HOA and want a yard that's more Florida friendly, well, listen up. Tom has a few tips for you.
You don't have to do an extensive yard flip when you live in an HOA. There are a lot of things the average person can do very easily to make their landscape more Florida friendly. For example, using the sprinkler system less. Let's try and reduce the amount of water we're applying. So let's take control of that irrigation system. Turn it off of automatic if you have that opportunity and run it manually. Look at your plants. Let them tell you when they need to be watered. Get a rain gauge so that you know how much rain Mother Nature is dropping on your landscape and you can decide whether you need to water or not. And let's think about using mulch. Mulch is so important. Keep a nice layer of mulch on the landscape because it not only makes the landscape look good, but it'll keep weeds down, it'll help conserve moisture in the landscape, and as it breaks down, it'll add organic matter to the soil. Thinking about wildlife, food, shelter, water. Maybe you want to add a bird feeder or a bird bath to attract wildlife. Maybe add a few more pollinator plants to try and attract the butterflies and other pollinators to there as well. Observing your landscape, scouting more frequently. Start looking at Florida-friendly plants. It really is important that you choose the right plant for the right place. Everything you do has an impact somewhere down the line, so try and be as environmentally friendly as possible.
It definitely feels great to know that things are catching on and that people are rethinking the way that they're landscaping.
All the plants installed today are 100% native, gorgeous specimens that are really going to grow up and fill in that area and flower and look beautiful.
This is just fantastic. Skip did such a great job. He has so many native plants here.
Extension agent Sally Scalera gives Meg a closer look at some of the plants being installed.
Are you familiar with Walters viburnum, our native?
I do not know about this plant. Can you tell me a little more about it?
Well, it's a keystone species for our county, which means that it attracts caterpillars, supports migratory birds. It also supports pollinators. It will also, when it gets pollinated, it will produce berries.
Yay.
And the birds will eat that. The plants that Skip chose for this are native, so they're gonna have a low water requirement. Right over here, we have our goldenrod, which is a fantastic plant, though right now it doesn't look like much.
How big will it get?
Well, in the fall, it'll do large yellow flowers, attract all the pollinators, and it's gonna be beautiful along here as you drive in and out of the neighborhood. So look over here, Meg. This is our dwarf sable, and this one is a relative of this, which is the large sable palm.
Wow.
But this one's gonna be great because it's not gonna take any care. It's only gonna grow about 6 feet, maybe 10 feet, so it'll work really well in this space. Right plant, right place. It'll also have flowers, so pollinators will be supported, and it'll get fruit for wildlife.
So I really love this plant, and I think that it has a great Florida aesthetic. It really speaks to the people coming into our neighborhood that we are committed to Florida-friendly landscaping. What kind of maintenance is this going to require?
Oh, this isn't going to take any maintenance at all.
Great.
It's going to be really tough, and once it's established, it'll get nice and 6 feet tall, and it'll be fantastic for your entrance.
After talking to Sally about all of our new plantings at the front of the neighborhood, I can't wait to see them in bloom. Thanks so much, Sally. I've learned so much from you today.
Yes, this has been fantastic.
Over the last 5 years, the Country Walk community has made big steps towards becoming more Florida friendly. From cleaning up their pond, replacing turf with beneficial plants, bat boxes that reduce mosquitoes without using chemicals, rain barrels, and today, a new Florida-friendly front entrance, complete with a water feature. These new plants are small today, but soon they'll fill this space with blooms buzzing with pollinators. This new entrance will set a tone for a community that cares enough to make big changes. These changes have both benefited Florida's environment and the quality of life of the residents of Country Walk.
All right, I think we're finishing up. What do you guys think?
We love it.
I'm so proud of our community for coming out and helping today and putting it all together. It looks really great.
I am so excited. We have been working towards this for a really long time. I love all these native plants, but my favorite thing is the aquatic water feature. Brad and Adam did such a great job putting that together for us, and I can't wait to see all the wildlife that's going to be attracted to the front of our neighborhood.
Things are a little small right now, but you guys have a lot of wildlife that are going to be benefiting from your new landscape, pollinators galore.
Skip, on behalf of the Homeowners Association, we really want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We are going to take care of this, and we really appreciate what you've done.
Well, you're very welcome, and you know who to call if you have any questions.
Yay! Thank you so much.
We flipped our Florida HOA!
There are over 50,000 HOAs in Florida who wield a lot of authority on how our yards should look. The good news is most are open to Florida-friendly landscaping principles. Sometimes it just takes the right approach. I encourage you to attend your next HOA meeting and ask about Florida-friendly landscaping. Okay, that's our show. Remember, everybody doing a little, well, that's a whole lot.
Welcome back to Country Walk. We've achieved the Florida Friendly Landscape certification. You can see how beautiful the front entrance looks now with all of our native plants. Our front entrance is welcoming and lets everyone know our commitment to Florida Friendly Landscaping in our HOA.
Flip My Florida Yard is brought to you by the Florida Department of Environmental Protection. Protecting Florida's environment starts with you. What you do in your yard can have an impact on the health of our environment and water resources.